Better late than never.
It is.
So welcome to night 5 of Birdability Week and to Accessible Nature Journaling. Birdability captains Emily and Cassandra, we're so delighted you're here. I'm going to turn it over to you all, friends, and I am excited to get to participate tonight.
Yay. Thank you. I love that this is to be one big joyous focus exercise. And I was focused as Kat did the intro, and seeing everyone pop on is like watching a feeder. I'm really excited. I'm like, look at, there's that. Super exciting. Since I am blabbing first, I will introduce myself and then Cassandra, you can go and we'll move on from there. So I'm Emily Nichols, located in Phoenix, Arizona. My pronouns are she, her. I just to describe myself because it sounds fun to do so until you start doing it and you're like, what do I look? Okay. No, I have auburn hair, really proud of that. That's what my driver's license says. It's like a reddish brown, freshly washed. I was smiling extra big to myself that I have this length of hair, remembering the days where I had it all buzzed off for some major head surgeries. Why do I say head surgeries? I'm a survivor of a traumatic brain injury, and birds have been absolutely the top therapists for me in all of my recovery. That is how I found my way to birdability, and from there it just keeps getting more fun. So tonight, happy to be here. I also just a quick moment for my shirt, as well as my mom, Paula, who's in the other room. We're wearing, this is my brain scan after my injury with a bunch of pictures of owls and osprey and, broad-billed hummingbirds that I took and superimposed over my brain. So just thought you all should know I'm wearing that, as well as a pair of Birdie McDonald's Crocs collaboration here. Only this group gets to see the Crocs that sit under the desk. So happy to be here. Cassandra and I are really excited to do this. So over to Cassandra.
Yeah, my name is Cassandra Dean. I go by she, her. I am from Wilbur, Nebraska. I'm the birdability captain of Nebraska. I am a white middle-aged woman. I have reddish brown hair with a ponytail and these big glasses. These are actually my blue light glasses. So my blue light glasses go over so I don't get the blue light from the screen on the computer. Um, I have chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. I've had it since 2012. And then in April, I just was diagnosed with a benign brain tumor. And so birds have been a avenue of healing for me, as well as Emily has pointed out for her too. And I'm not wearing anything nicely bird watching. I apologize. I have been up for almost 48 hours dealing with things at my permanent job. And so I am really on my last leg here. So please pardon me tonight as I go
We're
through.
amazed you're here,
You look
friend. Thank
wonderful.
you for
You
being
look
here.
wonderful. And also wait, so you have two glasses on that's very thematic on top of everything we're doing. Wonderful. You look good doing it. Wait, hold on. Did everyone bring their blue light glasses? No. Okay. This is one big exercise in focus unless you decide to follow tangents. Look at yourselves in my glasses. Okay. So today, still today here, no matter where you are, but we're gonna slow down. Good for me especially. Slow down, zoom in, and start to notice some of the details that admittedly we all overlook when we look, call it across nature, across our office, wherever we are. Very often we forget to stop ourselves, zoom in as close as we can, and really pick up the tiny details. So this is meant to be however you interpret the concept journaling, right? That can look and feel so many different ways. You could dance like the birds you see, might do that. You could make the noises you hear the birds make when we roll the video, or you could just sit and listen to how others journal. But the point being, all of us are in the same Zoom room, but I guarantee we each see and experience something different. So really looking forward to going through the process. Cassandra's gonna tee us up, tell us this is absolutely a thought baby of hers, a fantastic idea to help us really zoom in and magnify what we're looking at. So Cassandra, tell us what we're doing.
Yes, I want to just emphasize process over perfection. So this is about noticing with no expectations but pure enjoyment. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Today we are using a photo from the Cornell Live Cam in Sapsucker Woods to do a micro view journaling prompt. We will be using magnifying glasses, or you can take a picture with your cell phone and zoom in and look at some of the small details you can find, but you couldn't see if you were looking far away from it, but often overlooked in nature. We will all use the same scene to journal independently. If you have a magnifying glass, great, but if that's okay, we did set up some of the pictures ourselves with the same magnifying range as some of the magnifying glasses we're going to show you. So we're going to start our journaling with a video. For our first video is the version of the photo we will be journaling today. So we're not journaling right now. We're going to do that here a little bit. This was just to relax us, to get our mind into that slow motion view of that. So the second video we are going to play describes the various magnifications that help bring the details that we're going to be showing you today. You're welcome, Edmundo. You're welcome. And it's about how to bring in items in closer view. So let's show the next video.
This is Yair from Carson Optical, and today we're going to take a look at the Visor Mag. The Visor Mag is a great product to use when you need to free up both hands for a specific task. It's a set of clip-on, flip-up magnifying glasses that attaches to the brim of most hats. Clip the magnifier to the brim of the hat. The lenses are on a hinge which allows them to easily extend down. The Visor Mag comes in 3 different powers. 1.75 times magnification, which equates to a +3 diopter, 2 times magnification, which equates to a +4 diopter, and 2.25 times magnification, which equates to a +5 diopter. The Visor Mag features full-frame lenses, which allows for a full field of view. The stronger the magnification, the closer the focal distance. This is a function of optics. It has crystal clear acrylic lenses, allowing for a sharp, distortion-free view. Use the 1.75 times magnification for regular use, the 2 times magnification for slightly stronger, and the 2.25 times magnification to observe fine details. This product is perfect for fly fishers, electricians, jewelers, or anyone who works with their hands and needs to increase magnification on their subject. Please visit our website, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and leave a comment below. Your feedback is very important to us. Thank you. Hi.
Okay, I am trusting that this full screen is displayed for you. Hold on, let me click more buttons. No. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna trust you can see this. So super helpful, right? To watch him kind of demonstrate with each additional magnification, you get a little bit closer to your subjects in view. I initially was going to read what I know to be kind of the description of the scene, but decided that would kind of take away from the opportunity for each of us to kind of pull from this what we see, what we interpret as happening, and kind of do our journaling in that way. That being said, the gist is this was from the Cornell Feeder live cam up in the Sapsucker Woods in Ithaca, New York, which if they can invent teleportation, I would be there right now. It looks gorgeous. This scene is beautiful. We will give away that, I think we can all agree there are 2 pileated woodpeckers in this particular highlight. And from there, we don't need to say much more because that's for each of us to kind of pick up on the various details ourselves. So this would be journaling time, I think. Yeah.
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
great. Like part 1 journal. So
Yes.
this is approximately a little over 1, about 1.75 magnification is first of kind of 3 views. And I say we take a few minutes here, 4 or 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Whatever comes to you, write down what you see. When it's in this kind of static image, anything you recall from the video. I'll set a timer.
And friend, is it still supposed to be the video front page? Because that is what I'm seeing.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Just, yep, one static shot from the, yep, perfect. All right, we're about halfway through. 2 more minutes, let it flow. All right, one more minute, and my brain is singing final countdown. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Oops, I clicked a button. Nope, nope. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Focus. All right, coming in just under the wire. Pencils down, students. All right, I'm gonna save you from the timer noise. This was very good focus exercise for me because I cannot see any Zoom, so I am trusting it's still there. It's still there, yeah, okay. All right, so next part of, did I say 3? Yeah, 4, 3. Okay, next part. 2 times. We're gonna zoom in on this part. We're gonna take 2 minutes and just see what did we notice, do we notice in this even closer view here. You can build on what you started on. You may have completely other thoughts. That might just be me. 2 minutes on the timer. And again, I can't see you guys, but if any of you want to sketch this, I learned that first you carve it with your hands. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing then. Okay.
So you're supposed to take a time and notice anything different from the original view. So, so for example, right now I see more of the river in the back than I did when I first saw the first view. So you're gonna take a chance to look at something a different view and angle. That's the whole process of this journaling.
We'll give it another minute. All righty. Like I'm much more choreographed this time. Now I'm going to press the button on purpose. And we're going to go at about 2.5 times zoom. And yep, like Cassandra said, let's see what can we pick up on this time.
If you want to, if you feel like drawing's not the thing for me, you could try to figure out what these two birds are talking to each other, what their conversation might have been.
I love that you said that, Cassandra. This is Kat, and I have to tell you, I have zero drawing skill, but I've already created a story about
Yeah, exactly.
about these two birds. So thank you for reminding us that journaling can be anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, super important.
Better believe I didn't set the timer. Journaling can also be a make up your time. Give it another minute, see what drama these characters can have in your story, Kat. See what's happening. Or maybe no drama. All right. And a final level of Zoom. No, that was it. God, I'm so excited. I was gearing up to back up as far as I could to use my vortex binocs. No, I don't need to get that close to these guys. That's way, way, way powerful for this.
Yes, thank you, Lisa, for pointing that out. The red feathers do look a little different
All
in
right.
that 2.5 view.
Okay. So ideally now, breakout groups, I think that's still the math adds up for something like that. Kat, is that an easy to break out and chat, or we want to keep the whole group together? I'm good either way.
Absolutely go to breakout rooms. And what I'm just going to ask is for the interpreters to stay here, and anyone who uses interpretation to stay here with a couple of the rest of us who will in the main room. And I'm going to invite other folks to join a breakout room. And I think, how many people would you all like, Emily and Cassandra? What would be ideal?
The ideal would be 3 to 4, maybe you can do probably 5, depending
right.
on how many. And then
Great.
what you're supposed to do is there's a couple of questions you're supposed to think about is what did you notice? What intrigued you? How did it feel to watch the scene? And do you remember anything while you were drawing from that scene? And what did you choose to observe up close? What surprised you about this? And how did slowing down affect what you noticed? And how did zooming in affect what you noticed too? That's another question. So just think about those questions. And then you guys can talk some about yourself, share what you draw or wrote or anything like that.
And I am going to open up the rooms, and then I'm going to broadcast these questions. Again,
Okay.
anybody who would like to stay in the main room with ASL interpreters, please do that. And otherwise, I invite you all to click accept and move into breakout rooms to talk a little bit about what you noticed. All right. For the folks that stayed here, if you would like to participate, we would love that. I am also, Emily, I'm going to ask you if you would be willing to type those into the breakout room messages, because I don't have access to them now. I can't see them. But really, I think the main thing, if I am feeling your vibe, the main thing is you're just wanting us to reflect, right? On, you did it. Beautiful. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. I am curious about what you all noticed. Um, I noticed again that I really suck at drawing, and that is not where my joy lives. That's not where my joy lives, but where my joy lives is in making up funny stories. So that's what I chose to do about this picture. And it was fun to see that, those, the two getting a little bit closer, it felt like with magnification. So I'm curious what other folks thought, what reflections you all have.
Got me a little acrostic poem.
All
All
right.
with the attempted what turned into fish heads is, I don't know if this is, but the effort and then noticing, I forget birds have tongues. Birds have tongues. Why does this constantly flabbergasts me? And I think it's so cool to
Right.
rediscover that. So I got random thoughts on each of the letters of pileated, but I tend to
Love
flow
that.
in letters.
So it sounds like you, Gary, and I are a writing little
You're right there.
group within this. How about the other folks who are in our breakout here? What kinds of reflections did you all have, and what kinds of journaling were you doing? Anyone?
I'll fill the gap. One other thought was maybe it's because of what I set my awareness on tonight, which was hair. Like I was thinking about mine that I noticed when one of the woodpeckers turned, like it had some gaps in the feathers on that
Mhm.
crusty, crowny, heady area. And I thought, relatable, like I'm feeling like the pileated coming into its own there. Perhaps that was a younger one.
That's so funny.
So maybe it's just what, sometimes what happens when we journal that I've noticed, and maybe folks have had this, is what went on in your day or in the moments before tend to show up.
Mm,
Things that come to you, does the bird doing that? Oh,
yes.
I was just had that thought in my mind. I don't know if you guys experienced that.
Yeah, Ricardo is saying it takes me a
Yeah.
while to get settled in. But I noticed when the comment was made about the river in the background, I started to imagine that sound, and it was really refreshing. I love that. Using all different senses.
I did too. When I was drawing the river, I was just thinking of it bubbling and then how it would slap against the rocks and what
Mm-hmm.
sounds it would make. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was.
I love that. So my story that I
Yes,
started
please.
in my head, if I can tell folks a little bit about it, is it starts with the sentence, "So Jerry, your dad and I relocated here to Sapsucker Woods because we heard there was work at Cornell Theater." And it was just like then this thought that I had about, obviously my perception was that it was a young, right, woodpecker being fed by probably a parent. And I love the idea that it's their job to show up there. And it just, that gave me like a million different ways of thinking about stories that I could write about, again, somebody having to go to like hair and makeup to get ready for Cornell theater cams, right? Like it made me really joyful to imagine all these silly tangents that were possible for storytelling. Maggie, did you make a haiku by chance?
I didn't, but I did have my poetry notebook out and I was putting myself into the perspective or mindset of these birds, trying to think, what are they thinking? So,
Mm,
gosh, it's another busy day at the feeder, and this red-bellied woodpecker just won't get out of my way. And it tried to take a bit of a jovial approach to
mm,
it.
I love it. I love it. Lily or Karen or Mariah or anybody else, would you all be interested in sharing? And it really is okay if not, because that's part of the joy of this kind of Zoom is be here and listening, be here and participating, whatever feels right.
Sometimes too, it's just like you're saying, Kat, the stories that come up and we talk about a focus or a zooming in. Sometimes it's real fun to follow a little
Mhm.
squirrel tangent, and I started planning my trip to Ithaca. I'm like, come on, Emily. And I'm on this concept of my digi-lifers from this morning when Gary and Kara were out in North Carolina. I'm like, here's my list of new birds, and pileated lifer. I still haven't seen one, you guys. Let's campaign the
Yes.
digi-lifer.
Emily, come on over to the East Coast. They're all
Yes.
over in the woods behind my house.
Okay, I'll be there, Maggie. I'll get your address.
Please, yes, we've got them in the woods behind my house, and I tell you, their sound is just so wonderful. It's so prehistoric and makes me smile every single time I hear them.
They're pretty big, yeah.
They're so big, probably about
like this big. They're yeah. Don't you think, Maggie?
even bigger, Cat.
Even
Yeah.
bigger sometimes. Yeah, they're so spectacular.
They really are.
I'll be there.
Yeah, it's amazing when in Iowa, similarly, we have lots of pileatids. And one of my biggest joys is when I see a pileated sort of usually in the woods, like all of a sudden there's a swoop and you can literally hear their feathers, their wings. You can see the brightness of their crests. It's just, they're one of the most magnificent birds to observe, in my opinion.
And not super silent. That's not their goal. They like, so even they swoop loud. Okay.
Very loud.
Yes. They are loud. We didn't talk about, Emily or Cassandra, how long we were going to have people give people to chat.
See,
So I'm wondering if we should also broadcast a little bit about that. How long are you thinking so that we can give them a sense of
Let's give them 2 more minutes.
Yeah, then we'll
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. I'm going to let folks know.
I also wonder, does anyone else get like mixed media? Like you start with a word and then you start singing a song and then random like dance move comes into mind, or is that just an Emily thing? Because that happened here. Okay. I wrote, pretty sure the bird on the left is a baby, question mark. Maybe baby, I'll be true. I'm like, hello, what are we? And then just said that I noticed it doesn't have full feathers on the back of the head yet. And then I got into, I still haven't seen one, and that's just where the story went to. So if you guys, sometimes you start on one thing and you just let the beautiful creative mind bring you wherever you land, may not be where you started. Journaling is fun like that.
It definitely is. Can I show you all, though? I did try
Let's see it. Yeah.
Drawing. And this is what I ended up with. It was very fun.
Beautiful.
It's ridiculous. I think I did a slightly better job when I focused on the feeder. But I just decided, why not? I was going to use the tools available to me and see what I could do tonight.
Did you do some of those John Muir laws? Like,
I was going to say, mine looks like a pterodactyl.
Oh, this is great. It looks, that's so fun.
Good job. Publish worthy. Let's get that on a wall, Cassandra. Let's go.
Yeah.
Colored pencils coming in next.
Exactly.
That's super fun. So friends, I'm gonna give the 60-second warning for our friends out in the rooms.
Is my screen still on?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure is.
All breakout rooms will close.
Yep.
Okay.
And 60 seconds. Folks can come back sooner than that. Rowan, my deepest apologies. Just when I went to send that message, I realized that you had been put in a room with 3 people who did not join. I'm so sorry. I hope that it was a lovely experience of getting to do some journaling on your own, Rowan. Hi, everybody. It'll be a couple more a little bit longer, probably 30 more seconds before everybody is forced to come back from their conversations in their breakout room. So we'll give it another 30 seconds or so before. Here everybody comes. All right. It must be the 60-second cutoff, which is always such a bummer when you're right in it and then all of a sudden. All right. Emily and Cassandra, I'll turn it back over to you, friends.
Okay. So the object of this journaling prompt was to see the world in a different view. And so you can actually take this home or wherever you guys are at, maybe workplace, have a magnifying glass and just go and look at something up close. See if you notice anything. Maybe take a look at the leaves on the trees and see the veins, or maybe look at a bug a little closer than you probably would never have looked at a bug. The idea is that you're viewing it in a different aspect of journaling. And that's why I created this little prompt. So this is our first time using this prompt on a virtual compared to in person. So I hope it worked out for you guys as well. So
Yeah, and I'm just curious from the group that we didn't get to join any kind of emerging themes or I don't believe you all saw exactly the same details, but maybe someone could just give some highlights because my curious little mind wants to know what you guys saw.
Well, I'm not a, I can't draw very well, but
Let's see it.
I tried.
Like I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Wow.
oh,
That's
that's
color.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes. Not to, let's not play that down. That was actually fantastic. And the fact you brought in colors already, fabulous, fabulous.
We had a group member that did a haiku
Oh,
that
yes.
started us doing haikus. It was so
Okay.
nice.
yeah.
Wow.
That's so fun, Claudia.
Yes. It was Renee, wherever she is.
Awesome.
Yes. It was relaxing to watch the video.
Nice.
So that's the main thing that I thought about because I've had a very, very long day. So just to watch it, my mind went straight into relaxing and just quick sketched it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it. Renee also in the chat is saying they felt in their group that joy, that sort of opportunity for delight. I love delight as well as getting relaxed. Oh,
Yeah.
Rowan noticed the top part of the bill belonging to the bird on the right almost looked to be a little shorter than the bottom. Again, focusing in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then Julie, that lots of conversation about tangents and just letting those happen. In journaling, you seldom end where you began. Let yourself go. Sometimes it's story A, story B. Some of us start with letters. I had me a nice acrostic poem pileated, and then we somehow got to what I would call fish. Kind of get fish going here.
Yeah.
Just right. So you're like, I don't know how I got here. Maybe Cassandra said the word river and like brain went in water. Let it happen. But what a joy it is, just like, oh, there that was. Follow that for a minute, right? And just
Right.
let her go.
How about other folks? Any reflections that you all? Oh, and yes, Claudia, whatever book, we would love to all know what the recommendation is, if you wouldn't mind putting it in the chat.
Bird feet research.
Oh yeah.
Report back. Report back.
I love that. I'm wondering if your inspiration to research bird feet was trying to draw them. because I have to say that's where my research almost always comes from, is realizing because I'm somebody who can't see pictures in my head because of a neurological condition, I have to go research and then sort of look at it to draw it. And so it's often fun instead to take journaling and make it about something made up too, in my opinion. Whatever the associations become, right?
Yeah. And again, just follow it. Like journaling, the best is just get it out and it just no stoppage. Well, appropriate amount of stoppage if you need to set a timer on yourself, because if you're anything like me, it's like, where's Emily? And it's like, how many versions of that one poem does she have going, right? But just let it, right? Or yeah, like Gary's saying, it is absolutely whatever you want it to be.
Mhm.
Journaling sounds astute, but
I'm really curious about, friends, what makes journaling accessible to you all? Many of us who are here are folks who live with disabilities or chronic health concerns. And Emily, you and Cassandra's work has made me now get a little bit curious about what makes journaling more accessible to people, given that. Is there a setup you have or a way that you approach things that you're willing to share with the group?
Oh, I like the Diane's journaling has no boundaries. I feel the same way, Diane. You can draw whatever comes to your mind, or you can use whatever medium. You maybe not even have to use paper. I mean,
right. And that's what Cassandra opened my eyes to, the amount of tools that exist. It just kind of gives you the foundation. And maybe it's because my mom and I keep saying this, but you do you, boo. Like everything in between that is all you. Here are your couple of tools. Maybe that is universal segue here too. Is this showing up, this beautiful chart here? Just as folks think about ways to journal, is this a thing?
yeah, I like Rowan's too. Staying in one spot, with someone who has chronic fatigue,
Yep.
and you're just like, I don't want to walk another mile. Let me just sit here, sit under this tree. Let me hear what's going on around me. That just is healing itself right there, So.
And Emily, were you trying to show a list of adaptive tools? I don't think your screen was
it's
sharing, if
me.
so.
So here I am just enjoying the beauty of this chart, and sharing is indeed caring. Here I come. Right, I still wonder, do you also see my full screen? Do you see just a PowerPoint? You never know.
Now we see your full screen, friend.
Ooh, how about now?
Yay.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Up here in Nebraska, I've done 2 accessible adaptive nature journaling workshops this year. This was going to be my 3rd. And so I actually looked into tools to help. These are art tools that can help you on your path to beautiful drawings or beautiful writings, whichever you want to do. The first one at the top is raised line drawing boards. This is a tactile sketching support for blind or low vision participants. So it's a wooden square board that has a screen placed in it. And what you do is you place the paper on the screen and you draw your item or draw whatever you want, and you're feeling the texture of that item by feeling the bumps from the screen coming onto the paper. It's a really neat technique if you have anybody in your family has blind and low vision. The Handy Writer Easy Hold, that is a great grip tool if you can't hold pencils or scissors. It attaches to your wrist. So even if you are walking outside and you don't want to carry your pencil, you can just attach it and have it hang down. That's a great adaptive tool right there. For kids, because I do teach on the side, there's these chunky paint sticks. So they're big and thick, and you don't have to have that minute hand-eye coordination. You can just paint with them. Those are really cool. The mini loop scissors are along the side of the handy writer. So those are self-opening scissors for those with fine motor challenges. Triangular pencils for comfort and control and proper grip. And then balance balls instead of actually a chair. So if you're like me and sometimes can't sit still, you can also use those. Great for people. I have one kid that I tutor with autism, and he just and then he pays attention better than on a chair. So that's another way if you're one of those. With washi tape. So a washi tape is used as a tactile sketching support. So I have a prompt where you can actually draw blinds, which one of these days I'll explain that and show that to you. But anyway, that washi tape goes in the center of your paper, and it is used to help you support of where you're at on your paper at all times, because of that tactile that you have on that paper. And then you just, what you do is you just listen to what you can hear with your eyes shut, and you draw what you hear, not what you see. And so it's a great prompt right there. And then also stickers. If you can't draw, you can just buy some stickers. Those are great things to put in your journaling. And so, yeah. So these are just a few of those adaptive workshop tools that you can have. So
Thank you.
if there's a way we could send that to the viewers, so you can go online and purchase any of them, that would be great.
Yeah.
And so.
And I have to say, so many things can be made into adaptive tools. And one of the things that helps me get started sometimes actually is using washi tape to make smaller, like little grids so that I don't feel quite so overwhelmed. I don't know if any of you all do that too. Like, I know grid drawing is a whole thing, but so many different ways that folks can use tools to make journaling a more accessible thing for them.
Yeah.
Emily and Cassandra, thank you so much for creating this prompt and for walking us through it. And Maggie, I love that you just put in that the Cornell lab cameras are available all the time. I love a little virtual visit to the Sapsucker Woods. Encourage folks to check that out. It really is such a relaxing and lovely thing. I also want to say thank you to everybody for being here tonight. And we're going to wrap things up. And I'm going to stop the recording right now. And then we